Hey everyone, in this last video for the appendicular skeleton, we're going to look at hands and feet. And so I have two sets of hands. I have my they're articulated, but they're loosely articulated hands. That's what I usually talk with. But I also have the actual very well articulated hand here with a broken bone. It looks like, ouch. Okay. So it's always interesting to go through and we talk about, you have to know 206 bones of the body. And people are like, wow, that's a lot of memorization. But every single body has two hands. And on each hand, there are 14 phalanges. Every single body has 2 feet, and on each feet, we have 14 phalanges on each foot. So if we take that is 14 times 4, that is 56 bones that are phalanges. Okay, so that's 1/4 of all the bones you have to know are phalanges. So that makes your life really easy, right? In my opinion, it does. So just because you have to know 206 bones doesn't actually mean that you are having to memorize that many words, okay? So when you look at the hands, so here we have on our digits, we have 3 phalanges. On our thumb, we have 2 phalanges. So all of these are phalanges. These ones that are closer to the palm are known as proximal phalanges. These are intermediate phalanges, and these are distal phalanges. I care only about phalanges, okay? So if you're labeling, because I have proximal, intermediate, and distal, this is a proximal phalange, this is an intermediate phalange, and this is a distal phalange, okay? But on your exam, on your lab practical, the only thing I care about is that all of those bones are known as phalanges, okay? So that's super simple. We also have 5 bones on our hand, on each hand, known as metacarpals. So all of these bones, and I'm going to just kind of do that, those are all metacarpals. Okay. And then the last bones are these bones here, which are your carpals. And so I do expect you to know each carpal bone independently. They each have their own name. So this is where this hand comes into play. So I always start with the thumb side. And so this first bone next to the thumb, this is known as the trapezium. Hello. Hello. Here, I'll put my mask on. All right, so here's your trapezium. Next to the trapezium is a little bone here, which you can see. You can see it here. I have it, hopefully you can see it. I have right there, this bone there. This is your trapezoid. So I'm going to do this, bring a thing here. Hello. And then this long bone here is your capitate. You're fine. So right here is capitate, right in the middle of the distal carpals. The last bone is your hamate. If we go then to the top row, you have a scathoid, this one right here. I'm going to move it down here. You have a bone right here called the lunate. And then you have this triangular shaped bone here. You can kind of see it here. It's hard to see. It's this part. It's hard to see in the picture. This is known as the Trapezium. And the very last bone here is pisiform. If we look at our foot, again, you have all of these phalanges here. And on the big toe, you have a distal and proximal. The others have 3. You can see them here. You have distal, intermediate, and proximal. You see it better maybe there because you see that the 3 distinctions. You have your metatarsals here. So these are metatarsals. And then we have all of our tarsals. So again, we're going to go quickly through the tarsals, okay? And I'm going to use my disarticulated or my loosely articulated foot for that. So when you're looking at your tarsals, we have this large one right here. This is known as the talus. The talus is what articulates with the tibia. Right below the talus is the calcaneus. Okay, so it's this bone back here, it's your heel bone. This long, narrow bone right here, that's your navicular. We have this cube-shaped bone over here called cuboid. And then we have these 3 bones here. These 3 bones have the same name. They're all cuneiform. This bone on this side by the big toe is your medial cuneiform. I'm not going to write the whole name. You can see the spelling right there, Cuneiform. Let me just kind of erase this part right there. There you go. Now you can see the spelling better, okay? Then you have the intermediate, which is in between, and then a lateral cuneiform. So again, your feet are even easier than your hands, but the majority of the bones on your feet are also phalanges, okay? And that is all of the bones of the appendicular skeleton. So then you have some questions I expect you to answer, and then you're done with your skeletal structures. So I will upload this in just a moment. Bye.